Stories that changed history, how the Lorax changed environmental policy forever unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. These simple words from a children's book have echoed through courtrooms, congressional hearings, and classrooms for decades. Welcome to Stories That Changed History. In 1971, a colorful children's book with quirky rhymes and whimsical illustrations hit the shelves. The Lorax by Dr. Seuss might seem like just another bedtime story. But this tale of a small orange creature who speaks for the trees would go on to reshape how an entire generation thought about our planet. The story is deceptively simple. The Onceler arrives in a pristine valley and begins cutting down Truffula trees to make needs products nobody really needs, but everyone wants to buy. Despite the Lorax's warnings, the Onceler's business expands until the last tree falls, leaving behind only pollution, desolation, and regret. What made this children's book so revolutionary was its timing. Published just 1 year after the first Earth Day, and during the birth of the modern environmental movement, the Lorax translated complex ecological concepts into a story children could understand and adults couldn't ignore. The impact was immediate and lasting. Schools across America incorporated the book into their curriculum. Children who read the Lorax in the 1970s grew up to become the environmental scientists, lawmakers, and activists of the 1990s and 2000s. Many of them directly cite the book as their first awakening to environmental issues. Perhaps most remarkably, the Lorax has been directly referenced in real environmental policy debates. During the 1980s timber wars in the Pacific Northwest, environmentalists quoted the book in their legal briefs to protect old-growth forests. The phrase "I speak for the trees" became a rallying cry for conservation efforts worldwide. The timber industry felt so threatened by the book's message that they funded their own children's book in response called the Truffula, presenting the logging industry's perspective. When a children's book prompts an entire industry to create counter-propaganda, you know it's making an impact. In 2018, a landmark court case in New Zealand granted legal personhood to a forest, with indigenous representatives appointed to speak for the trees, language that deliberately echoed the Lorax's famous declaration. The book's influence had come full circle, from fiction to legal precedent. Perhaps most powerfully, the Lorax changed how we talk about environmental responsibility. The Onceler's final gift, the last Truffula seed, and his plea to plant it and protect it, introduced millions of children to the concept that environmental protection was their personal responsibility. One simple children's book, with its memorable characters and catchy rhymes, helped transform environmental policy from abstract regulations into a moral imperative that even a child could understand. What book changed your perspective on protecting our planet? Share in the comments below. If you're fascinated by how stories shape our world, subscribe and hit that notification bell to join us next week when we explore how a science fiction novel changed space exploration forever. This is TaleWeaver, where the stories that changed history come to life.